What's up guys, welcome to day 10 of the 100 days RunStreak challenge. Let's go! Before we start discussing the topic of this video, talking about the 5 biggest mistakes I've made as a beginner. Quick update on the challenge, my weight and my run of the day. Nothing to report on the run, 10k an hour, everything great. Failed running at night, unfortunately, because I couldn't run this morning and I had a big day at work. But anyway, that's how it is. Regarding the weight, I'm really happy. It finally starts to go down. I knew I said that from the beginning, but I know it's normal to take some time also in the beginning, all the adjustment that the body has to go through. Plus, I wasn't really strict on my diet, and now I'm starting to be a little more focused on my diet and on what I eat. Thankfully, it's reflected on my form and also on the little number on the scale. Okay, so quickly, let's move on to the 5 biggest mistakes I've made as a running beginner. First, I want to say that I started running probably around 3 years ago, and I always had this vision, this idea of one day running a marathon, even if it seemed to me like an unreachable target from the start. But eventually, 3 years later, I actually became a marathoner beginning of this year, 2020, and I achieved this goal. But if I look back 3 years ago, when I started to run, there are a few things that I wish I would have known before, so I could avoid making those mistakes and losing a lot of time. That is why I wanted to make this video, that maybe if you are a beginner, you could benefit from those tips. I want to make clear, I'm not a professional, I'm not an athlete, I'm just someone who enjoys running a lot, someone who is really interested in running, who has watched thousands of hours of videos and read probably dozens and dozens of books about running to understand more this sport. But I don't want to mistake you like I'm some sort of coach, certified or whatever. No, I'm purely an amateur, and this is all coming from my own modest experience. Mistake number 1, no warm-up. I think this is for every beginner that I've seen, and it applies sometimes for me too when I'm lazy. But guys, skipping warm-up is a bad idea. Everybody knows that if you just do those 5 minutes of warm-up, you're basically avoiding yourself from potential injuries when you start, especially when it's cold outside, like now in the winter. Although it hasn't been proven that warm-up can actually decrease the number of injuries, for me it's obvious that if I do a proper warm-up, I feel a lot better from the first step to the last. The warm-up will elevate your temperature, it will warm up your muscle, it will basically get all your joints, articulations ready to perform at their best level. Mistake number 2, this one applies a lot more if you're doing endurance running. Since the beginning, although I like to run fast, and it could be really interesting sometimes to try to PB, make a personal best on a 5k or 10k, I've always been super interested in running long distances because I've always been fascinated by people able to run a half marathon, a marathon, ultras, 100 kilometers, 100 miles, 130 miles, etc, etc. All those incredibly long races, especially trail races like UTMB, the Ultra Trail of Mont Blanc. All of those races, I've always been amazed by people being able to endure so much. So if you are also here because you want to do endurance running, the biggest mistake you can make here is to run too fast. So I always thought, oh, I cannot run a 10k, I cannot run more than 3 or 5k, and it was correct. I mean, when I ran 3k or 5k, I was exhausted at the end. Like, I couldn't run more. It was the end of my capabilities. But that's because I thought that I was running at my optimal pace. And it's kind of hard to find your optimal pace. It takes some doing, it takes some trying and errors. But one thing you can be sure, if you're a beginner, I can already tell you something, you're running too fast. I don't know you, I don't know your statistics, but I know right now that you're going too fast, because we all go too fast when we start. That is why we're all amazed by other people posting on Facebook that they ran 200k this month, and we feel like, oh, how is it possible to run that long? The secret is you're gonna know your pace. Right now, there is already a specific pace for you that I know for sure that if you were running at this pace, you would run twice longer than your longest run that you've ever done. That applies mostly if you're a beginner, obviously. But yeah, running too fast is the worst mistake you can do. If you want to do endurance running, you gotta lower your pace. Find this space where you are actually able to discuss with a friend while you're running without getting out of breath, and try to keep this pace for your long run, and you'll see you can run much longer than you think you can. Third mistake, I would say nutrition. So at the beginning of a run, I wasn't considering at all what I was eating. Neither before a run, after a run, I just wasn't thinking about this. Like, run was completely uncorrelated from my eating or my food, basically. I ended up having like very big pain in the stomach because I ran just after lunch, for instance, or because I ate like a lot of heavy stuff, and also not getting enough water during my run, especially the long ones. So again, on this topic, there are thousands of videos. I advise you to do your own research and try to find what works best for nutrition before a run, after a run, and create your own diet that fits your running activities. But that's definitely something that a lot of beginners can make progress on, I believe. Mistake number 4, and this is something that I am trying to solve by doing this 100 days run streak challenge. By the way, guys, if you're joining the challenge right now, I am engaged in a 100 days run streak challenge where I run a 10K every single day. I've also committed to publish one video every single day on this challenge to update you on the progress of either my weight loss and my mileage. If you want to be part of the journey, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the notification button, and while you're at it, smash the thumbs up button as well. As I was saying, basically what I'm trying to solve here is my consistency. Since I started, I always liked to run. The problem was that I would be running 2 or 3 times every week for like 2 months and then stopping everything for 3 or 4 months. And this is killing your progress. The amazing thing with running is that you can progress extremely fast, but those progress can also go down very fast if you stop running at all for a long period of time. That is why consistency is a key, and that is why I think a run streak could be extremely good to creating habits and creating this need for you to go out and run again and again and again, so that you keep your consistency at the maximum level. By the way, if you want to learn about how to start a run streak like I'm doing right now, I've made a complete video on this. I'll put a link up there so you can have a look. Finally, mistake number 5, not protecting my feet enough. So I don't know about you guys, but what stopped me from running was usually because I had either blisters or chafing or just pain in my feet, basically. I can't really say why I have those problems with the skin on my feet. I tried a lot of different socks, a lot of different shoes. I think I probably just have to accept that I'm always gonna have those kind of issues. The good thing with that is that there is a lot of method to actually prevent your feet from getting hurt. And now that I know all of those methods, I must say that I'm preventing most of the injuries that I have on my feet. I can't avoid having blisters sometimes when I'm running for very prolonged times, but you can cover a blister very nicely with a new Compete Band-Aid, for instance, and that is really game-changing for me. It's something that used to stop me from going for a run, and now it's not stopping me anymore. And that is definitely something that I didn't know when I started, and I really wish I knew how to take care of my feet, basically. So take care of yours. That's it. I hope you enjoyed those little tips. Let me know in the comments if you have ever done any of those mistakes in the past, and also what are the other mistakes that I didn't put on the list but that you have suffered from when you were a beginner. Again, quickly before the end of this video, if you want to receive a new video every single day to be part of this incredible journey of 100 days run streak, hit subscribe, hit the notification button, smash the like button, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers!